organza sleeves. Those of you who are creative realize what it's like to make something beautiful out of what would you say? What's the expression? Something out of a sow's ear. So I celebrate my work with her, and also I wanted to read a piece of some other part of her character, which is very strong. It's a story, a very short story, don't worry. It's called The 50-Cent Lesson. One afternoon in a large farm, the place of Mr. Darby Uncle, on which a number of sharecropped farmers lived, quietly the door was opened, and a small child, the daughter of a tenant farmer, walked in and took her place near the door. The uncle looked up and saw the child and barked at her roughly. "What do you want?" Meekly, the child replied, "My mom says, send her 50 cents. This is the uncle. "I'll not do it," the uncle retorted. "Now you run on home." "Yes, sir," the child replied, but she didn't move. The uncle went ahead to work. He was so busy and didn't notice that the child had not left. Then he yelled at her. When he looked up and saw her standing there, "I told you to go home now, go, or I'll get the switch." The little girl said, "Yes, sir," but she didn't budge an inch. The uncle dropped a sack of grain he was about to pour into the mill hopper, picked up a barrel stave, and started toward the child with an expression on his face that indicated trouble. When the uncle reached the spot where the child was standing, she quickly stepped forward one step, looked up into his eyes, and screamed, "My mama's got to have the 50 cents. The uncle stopped and looked at her for a minute, and then slowly laid the barrel stave on the floor, put his hand in the pocket, took out the $half and gave it to her, and the little girl slowly backed toward the door, never taking her eyes off the man whom she had just conquered. So this day is my pleasure to give you a certificate from the Caroll Center. Thank you so much. On independent living program to you, and of course it's all in Braille, so you get to practice that. Right. And it is my very pleasure to have met you and worked with you, Cheryl.
I'd like to thank everybody from the top down. The president, vice president, Ruby, I don't know what your title is. All the wonderful, wonderful instructors that never for one moment gave up on me. And the dear, dear friends I made here. Absolutely the dear, dear friends. My grandchildren, you know who they are. And Neil, do a good job. Take care of yourself and do a good job. So thank you all.